Out of all the days in South Africa, day 2 had to be the most challenging and most triggering for me, because when we got to Citibank, I did not see any men or women of color in higher positions. It was a white man from the United States, and he did have a female colleague that was also in a higher position, but she was a white South African, and that just really triggered me in a way that you can't even imagine possibly. Day 3 definitely comes really close to being my favorite day, because that was the day we met Leon and Quincy. And Quincy is a native white South African, and Leon is a native black South African, and they are colleagues, and they work really close together with groups like us coming into South Africa, Johannesburg, and doing immersions and things like that. And they really allowed me to be comfortable and vulnerable around people who didn't look like me and voice my opinions on things like Citibank. Additionally, on day 3, Leon and Quincy took us to Soweto, and while in Soweto, we went to Mandela's house, and we seen a lot of things. We went to the Peterson Museum. We even had lunch at this amazing place that had so many options. And then we went to the Boston Media Group, which is this media school for college. It's basically a media college, and boy, did we have some amazing conversations. We split up into groups, and we went in. Day 4 in Johannesburg was Township Day. We split up into these pods and into 5 different bands, and we just emerged completely into the biggest township in Johannesburg, which is Alexandra, and that is when I felt home. Every single time we got to speak with South African youth, whether it be at the Boston Media House, the Vikings Basketball Club, or just out in the streets, it was amazing. And it was kind of scary at times being like a spokesperson for American Blacks, but I really appreciate learning so much from another young person's perspective about their country and our country. So that experience I would never forget. So we had a big project while in Cape Town, and I was to do a radio show, and none of us had experience in that area. However, we had to collaborate with a filmmaker, Andrew, and he helped us out a lot, and he helped us make a format, and we split up into groups, and we each had these subtopics, and they all had to run and flow together, and they did, and it was beautiful, and we had an amazing time in the studio, and we loved it.
Everybody say hey. No, never mind. America adopt me.
Coming into this experience as a Black American, I thought I would still be treated as an other since I wasn't a Native African. However, after interacting and meeting people in Soweto, Alexandra, and the Vikings Basketball Club and throughout local townships, I felt a strong sense of connectedness. I see my family not being very similar to the people I met in the townships in a sense, but just our living conditions are different. And what I mean by that is that we are very, very similar in how we communicate with one another, laugh, work, and how we overcome any obstacles and modes of oppression within the system, but somewhat different in what we have overcome and the levels of it. And after some reflection, I truthfully believe that we are all fearfully and wonderfully made, yet divided and yoked by similar realities of resilience, which speaks to Ubuntu.